What's up, everybody? It's your boy King Hustle. Yes, it's the best money and credit channel on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell. So whenever I drop new sauce and lessons, new methods, and giveaways, you'll be the first one to be notified. You'll be the first one to know what's going on. And hey, you might be the first one to win something for free. So make sure you subscribe and hit the all notification bell on all the YouTube channels. Also, make sure you follow me on my Twitch, King Hustle Live. I do all my freebies and giveaways from those YouTube channels and the Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on nothing. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms. All you gotta do is click the title on every video. Once you click the title on every video, at the bottom in the description, all my social media links will pop up. All right. Got a lot of fake King Hustle pages out there, so please get a FaceTime verification call or video to make sure you see this face. Make sure you are doing legit business and you are getting what you paid for. All right. And before we get anything started, this is all educational purposes only, not telling anybody to do anything. So let's get this thing started. Hey, let's get this thing started. Hey, what to do, my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there, my real Hustle Nation Empire family members, and we are back at it again with the gems, back at it again with the sauce, back at it again with the information that's gonna turn you into a boss. So you're tired of being a zero, you ready to be a family hero? Listen up, take a seat, get your notepad and get your pen, because you already know when I drop these videos, get them notifications. There's gonna be some information that's gonna help you win, keep you informed, and keep you entertained. So with that being said, we got another King Hustle banger. We back at it again with these new bank fraud methods, these new bank scams that's been going on in today's world. Now, it's a lot of new methods that's going on out there in the world. And a lot of these methods have been developed and created over a period of 5, 6 years. Before COVID-19, you didn't see people flashing money and stacks of money and really talking about this scam, this method, that those type of things before COVID-19. After COVID-19, that's when you seen the pandemic, the epidemic of people flashing hundreds of thousands of dollars, talking about this scam, that fraud, this and that. Now, when COVID-19 hit, the world was presented with a lot of fraudulent opportunities because wherever there's money being made, there's going to be some type of scam or fraud being committed. Just like there's always some type of scam or fraud being committed when tax time come, there's always some type of scam or fraud being committed when somebody trying to get a loan, credit card, a line of credit. There's always some type of scam or fraud going on when somebody trying to apply for food share benefits. There's always some type of scam or fraud going on with anything and everything there is where there's benefits or some type of money being made. So since the government presented all these different ways for people to make money, people figured out how to commit fraud with it. So PPP loans. Many people created fraudulent businesses, made fake documentations, not even went through the Secretary of State. Secretary of State. They just made fake documentations, got approved for the PPP loan, and got millions of dollars and was splurging buying Lamborghinis and mansions and this and that. And didn't finish going through the process of the forgiveness part of the loan, and now they're in jail. There's a lot of people who did go through the forgiveness part and got their loan forgiven, didn't have to pay it back. A lot of rappers got a PPP loan now for millions of dollars. So these opportunities presented itself and people took advantage of the loopholes in it, that it has, because everything has a loophole. So these banks are always trying to find a way to make it easier for the customer to be able to cash a check, deposit money, transfer money, do all the things that you can do with a bank. And at the same time that they're doing these things, the same way that people are doing all this, scammers and fraudsters are doing the exact same thing. Because the only difference between a regular person and a scammer is the scammer is using somebody else's information. So it could be free money, quote unquote, free money for them. So banks, people are starting to learn banks. People are starting to understand how banks really are not good. Banks are really here to just get money from people, really. And there's a lot of banks that I won't even say that, because at the end of the day, these banks actually tells people like, we will never text you or call you, ask you for certain information, right? So let's get into these new bank methods, because I get to talking about different. That's why I be making these little notes and stuff so I can stay on topic and stay on time, because I don't be want to make super long videos for y'all. Attention span be short. So there are different banks out here. People learn the loophole. So first, it starts with understanding the difference between scams and fraud, because a lot of people don't. Scams are when people social engineer trick or manipulate somebody or a victim into sending or giving their own money. Fraudulent or fraud is when somebody steals somebody's information and gets into somebody's account, gets a debit card, a credit card, gets loans, credit cards, lines of credit, apartments, cars, in somebody else's name. When somebody obtains goods in somebody else's name with their identity is fraud, right? So that's the difference between the two. Two different people, two different things in the same game. So everybody got to stop calling everything a scam. Everything is not a scam. Everybody is not a scammer, right? So by people knowing this information right here, banks cover fraudulent activities. And the banks say when they text messages and phone calls and all the time that they would never ask you for certain information through a text message or a call you ask you for the information, right? So boom, keep that in mind. Now, the method is that people are starting to get these spoof apps. And back in the day, this was called smishing and phishing, where people would send text messages trying to steal people's information or get them to give them information. So people are this new generation. People got to hold on to the method, and now they're finding these spoof apps. And these spoof apps are basically allowing people to utilize any number. Well, a spoof app is you can use this app to call people, text people, and utilize any number that you want to appear when you call them, the caller ID. So people figured that out, and now they're saying, okay, let's spoof, let's do the method. So let's get these spoof apps and let's act like a bank's database. I mean, act like a bank's fraud department. So it might be any bank, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo, you name it, right? And people are starting to get very elaborate with these schemes, get very slick with these scams. So they go on the dark web. They buy different fools, banks fools, people's profiles that actually have a bank account with that bank, because you already know back in the day we used to all get random text messages saying, "Hey, are you trying to blah 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 from this store?" Or "Hey, are you trying to wire transfer from such and such from different banks that we didn't have an account from, so we ain't got an account at the bank. We're not gonna pay attention to it. The first thing gonna come up to our mind, like, this is a scam. We're not gonna respond to that." And as time evolved, people said, you know what, now let's get people's information who actually have a bank account with that bank to have our chances even better. So now the hackers are the ones who are stealing the information, compromising the information from the banks and selling it on the dark web. And the scammers go buy it and the fraudsters go buy it, and they might buy 5, 10, 15, 20 at a time. And when they get that information, they go to the spoof app and they put that information in, and they send out a group text. And whoever responds, that's who they try to manipulate or trick into this method. And believe it or not, a lot of people fall for this method. It's different. It's like once you get to certain steps, it's different ways you can do different things. So it's two ways that people utilize it. So they might have somebody give them their login credentials, or they might have somebody take out the money and go do different things with it. So in today's video, we're gonna watch a situation where a woman was tricked by a Wells Fargo scammer, fake scammer, with the spoof calling and text message, and they got her out some money. So with that being said, let's see what's going on.
Is take the money. He goes, we work with FBI works with Chase Bank, and you're going to take it to Chase, and you're going to deposit it. That I got.
A message that looked like it came from her bank, asking if she made a purchase at Walmart.
Jody Philpott lived a steady life before the call. She was older. She shared daily routines with a partner.
Purchase at Walmart.
Now, these are the normal text messages that people normally get, right? From the fake scammer. So now, this should be a red flag. First of all, the bank ain't gonna have no iPhone. You see how it says iMessage? So it came from an iPhone. Red flag. And then free message, Wells Fargo fraud. Did you attempt the $1,578.67 at Walmart supermarket? Reply yes or no to stop, opt out, stop, right? This not even the right words that they use, first, second of all. And This should have been a red flag from the jump.
Jody Philpott lived a steady life before the call. She was older. She shared daily routines with a partner.
And a lot of people, like I said, a lot of scammers go for the older people because they know their brains aren't connecting the way younger people connect. So they get those text messages from, and they really got a bank account with that bank, they're going to fall for it. So they're starting to get more elaborate, more get more slicker with the scam. Oof.
The purchase, and I was like, I didn't feel comfortable pushing on that.
The amount was not large. The message suggested approval. She did not respond. It felt safer to check first. She did what many people believe is the right step. She called the number printed on the back of her Wells Fargo card. The call went through. No issues appeared on the account.
And by no issues appearing on the account, that's like, okay, now wait a minute, what's going on? Got her kind of confused. Like, okay, so she's confused.
He said he was a senior supervisor with the Wells Fargo online fraud department. He spoke with confidence.
I immediately says his name, and he's a senior supervisor with Wells Fargo online fraud department. He knew my everything, my driver's license, my social security number, date of birth, all of that.
He knew her full name. He listed her driver's.
And that's come from them buying the information off the database, off the database information off the dark web. See, people don't know the dark web is real. You can, if you find the right places and you know the right people, you can find a lot of different things on the dark web, and a lot of people don't understand that. So it's getting tricky out here.
Is
and a lot of people don't believe it can happen until it actually happens. And these banks don't be wanting to give people back their money no way. So it's getting real tricky out here. Let me fast forward it.
Watching. He goes, we're able to see you. We've got somebody that'll be in there. And you're going to try and get $15,000 out of your checking account. And I'm thinking, I know I don't have $15,000 in my checking account.
Exactly.
They said that the FBI will put that money in there.
Said someone would be inside.
They coming up with a real life scheme to get that paper from her. That's crazy.
The explanation focused on recovery. The problem.
Money. He goes, we work with, FBI works with Chase Bank, and you're going to take it to Chase, and you're going to deposit it.
Complied. The deposit was made. The following day, the pattern repeated. Another $10,000. More urgency. The same language of securing and resolving. The instructions stayed precise. The caller.
So basically, they kept sending her the same thing to make it seem like somebody just kept trying to scam her account. Like, what's going on?
She was told what to say. She was told not to discuss details. She was told to.
They trying to double whammy her. Dang, they tried to double. She probably got double whammy too. A lot of people be double.
Authorized transaction. Customer initiated. Internal review treated the actions. Work. Caller ID can be manipulated.
There's so many tools available to.
Money is moved by the customer. Recovery is rare. 0 to 5% is typical. That is the range.
And like I said, when the victim transfers or moves the money, it's gonna be hard for that person to get that money back because they the ones who moved the money. Nobody did it but them. It don't matter if somebody tricked them. Like, it gets real tricky with these banks because they only cover fraudulent activity. So once they see that the part breach where they are the ones who did it, it's over. So with that being said, man, it's just all about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware out there. Like I tell you guys all the time, get your Norton LifeLock to monitor all your social media and financial accounts to make sure no suspicious or funny activity is going on. And it'll monitor the dark web to make sure none of your personal information is on there being sold. So make sure you guys get your Norton LifeLock. Make sure you guys are getting freezing all through your credit profiles, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So nobody can get anything in your name, not even you. No loans, credit cards, lines of credit, apartments, or cars. And make sure you guys are getting new credit card and debit card numbers every so often. We use our cards every day, all day. And by us using these cards, they store it on different databases. And our card information is stored on a lot of different databases. So getting a new card with new information is a fresh start. Nobody has it until you start using it. So make sure you guys are getting new credit card and debit card numbers, with new cards with new information to get that fresh start. All right. And with that being said, man, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know how I get down. It's always about being more safe, being more cautious, and being more aware of what's going on in this real crazy world that we all living in. All right. So shout out to all my real King Hustle fans, supporters, subscribers out there. Because without y'all, there'd be no me. Y'all motivate me to keep going. Y'all motivate me to keep dropping the sauce. And y'all motivate me to keep y'all entertained. So shout out to all of y'all. Anybody out there is tired of being broke because it ain't no joke, let's get to work. FaceTime one-on-one limited gyms are $1,000. But for limited time only, I'm doing them for $600. Yes, $600. Cash App or Bitcoin payment. Once the $600 is on your Cash App or Bitcoin balance, send me a screenshot. Let me know your payment ready. And we will go from there. All right. No screenshots, no replies, no 21 questions. And please do not yell me. Make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the webinars Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, $250. Make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the crypto tour in person limited gyms, $3,500. Make sure y'all booking y'all seat on the month-long mentorship, $1,000. Still looking for people for the production company. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit the notification bell on all the YouTube channels, the Twitches, IGs, TikToks, and Snapchats. Make sure y'all checking out the crypto world because it's changing people's lives. And make sure y'all get in when y'all fit in with these load ups. All right, 120 and up. Send them screenshots and y'all payment ready. And with that being said, it's your boy King Hustle. Y'all know how I get down in these videos. I'll see you at the next lesson video or live. Peace.